thank our sponsor, Parati's Quality Meats, located in Cranford, New Jersey, serving customers all over New Jersey for the past 50 years. Welcome, everybody, to the Shore Football Report in the State Playoff Special Edition. We have Coach Hoadley and Coach Davis doing overtime, and this will come out on Wednesday. We're going to talk about every section of the state playoffs that has somebody from the Shore Conference in it, Coach. Are you ready for this?
This is the time of year that you prepare for all the way back last January in the weight room. This is the type of time that you want to just start putting it together and make that final run. This is the exciting time. Yep.
This is fun, man. It's really fun. It's exciting for not only all the players, but the coaches and the families. It really is. Playoffs are something that we've been raised with that is something positive and good. You're getting rewarded for a very good season. Every team that's in the state playoffs deserves that feel. They really do.
What's everybody's record right now, Rob?
0-0.
Yep.
All right. So here's what we're going to do, Coach. Every section that we do, I'm going to flip it. You're not going to see our beautiful faces. You're not. So you're going to hear our voices. We're going to put you on where you're going to see all the brackets. We will talk about for every section, we're going to talk about what teams are in it from the Shore Conference. And then from there, we'll talk about each team in the Shore Conference. We're not going to talk about the other teams. And then we'll talk about who you think is the favorite, the dark horse, and if there's a first round upset. And then we'll just announce who we think will potentially could win the championship from each bracket. You ready? Let's have fun with it. You and I do not know a lot about these other teams. We don't. Yeah. We have friends in all these different areas that if we give some type of comments about, it's because maybe somebody has said something or maybe we did a little research on certain teams. But, let's not mistake anything about it. But we are Shore Conference guys, and we are rooting for Shore Conference guys, and that's tough luck. That's what we are.
You can kind of tell, like Coach Davis and myself are smiling a little bit because if it was this time of year we were coaching at the varsity level into this time, we would be frazzling because a team that you're not knowing, you're trying to break down their film, trying to put their scheme. So it's a lot easier doing what we're doing right now than what we've done in the past.
A lot easier. Let's get this going. We're going to start out with South Jersey 1, and we're going to go right down to South Jersey 1, Group 1, Central Jersey 1. We're going to do all that stuff. Good. Let's get this on here.
Let's move it on.
The first one, how do I get to?
That's Group 2.
Yeah, I know. All right. How do we do this? Brackets. No. I will get to it. So how do you move this over, Coach? Brackets. Central, South.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's good. All right, so can you see that, Coach?
I got it. We're good.
All right, now we're going to start with South Jersey 1, then we go to Central Jersey 1. We'll go South Jersey 2. Good.
Yep.
All right, so the team in here from the Shore Conference is, and I like this, I can use my little mouse thing.
It's great. We have 2. Yep.
Number 2, Shore Regional, who's 6-2. And then over here, number 5, Asbury Park is in it. Coach, let's talk a little bit about Shore. All right, Shore comes in with Jamie Mazaka. I mean, over 1,000 yards rushing. He was second team All Shore as a linebacker. Coach, when you talk about one-man gangs, this guy right here, if there's an MVP in the Shore Conference, the most valuable player that has done so much for their program.
And everything on the field,
is Jamie Mazaka. He is by far the most valuable player in the Shore Conference, Jamie Mazaka, with a young football team around him.
Yep.
Playing a Burlington City team that's 4-4. Shore coming in at 6-2, playing a lot of bigger schools.
Throughout the season, a Group 1 team that's played Group 2s and 3s. Yep.
I think they're battle tested. I really I really am. And Coach Kaz has been chomping at the bit playing a Group 1 tournament, and he's got what he wants. Asbury Park is the number 5 team. They're 4-4. They were 4-2 before they played Raritan and Manasquan, which are juggernaut football teams in Group 2. So they're battle tested. You got a lot of athletes.
Same thing we just talked about with Shores. That Asbury's played a lot of Group 2s and 3s as well. Yep.
Yeah, they're playing a Penns Grove team that is well coached and very athletic. 5-4 Penns Grove with that. So, Coach, let's talk a little bit about who the favorite is. And I'm going to start off. I think the favorite right now is Woodbury, the number 1 seed. I think they've separated themselves this year, playing some very good football throughout the season, being undefeated. Just looking at that, so I have to anoint them as the favorite. What do you think about that?
I agree with you. I mean, if we're going to jump ahead, I agree with Woodbury as being a favorite. I think a dark horse in this is Penns Grove. I agree with you a lot about Penns Grove. I know the program. I know the coach. I know what they've done this year. I think that's a dark horse from a 4 that can make some moves in this bracket.
You're right with that. That's a good call with that. My dark horse though is Woodstown at 6-2. I think that I think that they're a team that a lot of people are high on down south that could sneak into the finals. But I will say this: I don't see anybody beating Woodbury. I don't.
Yeah.
I think they're primed to win this South Jersey one with that. So let's go to the Central, Coach. Central 1. All right, here we are, Central 1. I have 2 teams that I'm going to talk about, and one of them is Keyport. Keyport is.
Coach, can I stop you for 1 second, please? And again, I value your opinion here. Yeah, besides friends, I know how educated you are in the world. Can you tell me why Paulsboro is not in South 1, but Paulsboro is in Central 1, and Shore is in South 1 and not in Central 1?
Coach, you're talking to a guy that I don't know. I don't know.
How do you come up with this? This is what I'm talking about.
I do not know. So, Coach, we're going to be saying this about all the teams.
I'm sorry. I only take time away. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Can you see everything, Coach? Is it clear?
I can see everything fine.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure.
I can't see why they did this, but I can see it's fine. Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad you can see that. Good. Keyport comes in the number 7 ranked team, the only short conference team in Central Jersey 1. Coach Glesman has got these guys rolling 6-2. DJ Thompson, Coach. Again, you want to talk about top players in the short conference? This guy does it all as a receiver, defensive back, punt returner, kick returner. George Mitchell is outstanding this year at quarterback.
First-year quarterback,
First-year quarterback, and then you got Najir Treadwell, the outstanding sophomore. So they've had a great run this year. Unfortunately, they're playing a Salem team that is loaded. Coach. Loaded. Yep. Okay, so let's just leave it at that, and we'll talk a little bit later. The other team I want to talk about is a good friend of mine who was one of my assistants, is the head coach at New Egypt, Coach Steve Fenson. 7-1, the best start they've ever had in New Egypt history, and they got a D lineman that is a Division I kid, Ashton Sempervive, a D lineman, big 6'4" dude, 265, 270. I seen them play against Overbrook, 3-0 they lost. And Overbrook, I think, is a 3 seed in the Group 2. And New Egypt's got a lot of fight to them. Excellent defense. And I want to congratulate Coach Fence on the great year he has. He's got a great running back, ran for 1,053 yards. And Harris, just a good football team. And also is being led by a good football coach with that. With that being done and said.
But in that bracket, though, let's just talk about the elephant in the room. Who has the history and the culture like the number 1 seed, though?
You said it before, and that's Paulsboro.
I mean, what they've done as a program over the last 30 to 40. I mean, it's amazing what Paulsboro's done year after year after year after year.
Well, that goes with who I think the favorite is, and I have Paulsboro on that, Coach. I do. And the sleeper, though, the dark horse is Salem. I think Salem is a dark horse team that can make a run with it. Now, if we had to pick an upset special, well, I think New Egypt being the 5 can upset number 4,
You upset
Gloucester City.
Gloucester?
I think they
Yeah.
could. I think New Egypt could slide to that second round and maybe kind of hit the ceiling a little bit and how far they can go. I see the finals as Paulsboro versus Salem. I think
Salem.
everybody down south wants to see that anyway. And
Mm-hmm.
and I think Paulsboro is the favorite, but don't be surprised if Salem comes away with the
Mm-hmm.
championship with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anything can happen in the state playoffs, and
Absolutely.
you know that, right?
Yep.
Let's look at South Jersey 2 now. There we go. All right, in South Jersey 2, we have a couple teams. We
Yep.
got Point Borough and we have Monmouth, and yet they're playing in the same bracket. They're playing each
Yeah.
other. That's not a good matchup for Monmouth. And let's talk with Monmouth for 38 seed. They're 6-3. They had a great season. They really had a great season.
Yeah.
Coach Wendell. They're the division champs, but they're playing a Point Borough team they played earlier.
Yep.
And now Point Borough's the number 1 seed, and they beat them 49-6 at Monmouth, and now it's at Point Borough. All this stuff doesn't add up to a very convincing thing that they're going to win this week because Point Borough has just been a machine offensively and defensively, led by their head coach, Brian Staub. Really has, coach.
Mm-hmm.
You
I
know?
agree. It would have been nice to see Monmouth be at the bottom half of this bracket, to see them get a little movement, but to be able to play a team the second time during the year with what Barrow's doing, yeah, it's tough. It's a tough draw for Monmouth.
Coach Vitale, Croce, Oliphant, Ciliento, all these guys are both sides of the football playmakers for Point Borough, and they're going to be okay. I think. I think the favorite, though, is Nottingham. Nottingham's 8-0. They just beat Notre Dame last week.
Yeah. Yep.
Notre Dame's undefeated. I mean, 8-0 and they're the 3 seed. I think the dark horse is who we just talked about, Point Borough. If there was an upset, I think you got to look down at the bottom of the bracket. Sterling
with Willenboro.
Sterling lost to Willenboro 22-14 in single overtime in the middle of the year, and that could flip very easily in the playoffs. You know, it's very hard to beat a team twice.
Yep.
But I think the finals. And you kind of watch out for Delaware Val, New Providence. This is kind of a lot of parity here, but I think it's going to be Nottingham and Point Borough in the finals. I'm rooting for Point Borough. I'm rooting for him.
Yeah.
Nottingham looks like the team to beat, though, in the South Jersey too. But I'm going to hold off.
It's always tough, though, when where Point Borough's got a little bit of an ace in the hole. Not many people run the triple like Point Borough does. So they have to prepare that for a week of practice. They have to simulate that. That's where they're really got an edge up on some teams.
Yeah, that's going to be a great battle if Nottingham and Point Borough get to the final. Real close game, 2 good football teams, but I think Nottingham is the favorite in that South Jersey too, Coach. Good. So let me go to Central Jersey too. Now Central Jersey too has a team that I know about.
Again, they end up putting 2 short conference teams again in the first round. I mean, it's tough.
Yeah, I mean, and they're playing against each other. You got the number 1 ranked Raritan, who's 4-4.
Yep.
They've played a battle-tested schedule. They really have, and playing against Barnegat, the 8 seed,
6-2, right?
Who I was the coach there for years, and
Yeah.
Coach Covine did a great job in his first year, leading them to the state playoffs as the 8 seed at 6-3.
Yep.
First let's talk about Barnegat. JoJo Bivens has over 1,200 yards, 20 touchdowns. He's a junior. They have 2 big linemen, Kenny Miner and Connor Darmstatter, both, around the 280, 300-pound mark, and they're going to lean on you, and they're going to want to run the football, and they're going to attack you on defense. and they got athletes on the perimeter, and they're gonna try and make something happen. At Raritan's got playmakers on offense. They've been very productive on offense, led by Falzon and Hutchins, the quarterback, with Campanella and Calicari back. They're putting up some points, and they can run the football on just about anybody. And that's why they're the number one seed. They played some tough teams playing Red Bank Catholic.
I think you just said it. I mean, that's where like a team that's 4-4 like Raritan gets a number one seed in this bracket. That tells you the type of competition that they're playing in the short conference this year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With the PowerPoints and the multiplier, so to speak, of what goes on. I mean, it's huge.
Coach, I went over this and I tried to figure out who is the favorite. And in my notes, I said, there's no favorite. I don't have a favorite. I mean, you're looking at the one seed at 4-4. I don't like it. I don't think I've seen Overbrook play, and I don't think of them as a top Group 2 state champion type team. I mean, they just barely beat New Egypt, a small Group 1 school. Could it be Bernard's? It could be Hillside, or it could be Raritan.
Hillside's jumping out at me too. I've seen Hillside.
Coach, and I'm going to say, and again, we're neglecting Haddonfield. So it could be flip the coin, and what do we got? I think that this might be, and I'm going to say this. You can't, until Haddonfield gets beat, you can't say that they're down. I think it's going to be a Haddonfield versus a Hillside final, and I think that Haddonfield wins it.
And every time you say Haddonfield, I'm looking over my shoulder to see if Michael Myers is behind me.
Coach, you don't have to say that. I watched so many of them. Yeah, with that music. Yep. But I mean, again, it could be Raritan, Hillside, Haddonfield, Bernard's, and that's that. But I know that those four teams, one of them's going to win it. It really could. Yeah. It really could. So now we're going to South Jersey 3. Pretty sure it was the easier way to do it. But anybody from the shore on here? The team looks very familiar.
There's a team that did pretty well last year.
Yeah, they're okay, right?
Yep.
I hope people are looking at them going, hey, you know what? They're 5-3. Okay. Do your research,
Yep, exactly. See the three teams they lost to and the scores, and then what they've done the last 5 weeks. Exactly.
Good luck, Hopewell Valley. Okay, good. All I know is this kid, Charlie Sasso, is back to form where he was last year. He was injured in the beginning of the year. They're getting Riley back. Always a nice gift, right? When you get your linebackers back, right?
At this time of year, yep.
Yeah, and I think Wall's battle tested going from last year to this year. They've been hit hard with injuries. They played tough teams, but they played tough teams last couple years too, Coach. They really have.
I know personally,
yeah. So that's not an issue. I think they have a chip on. I think they needed this for this group. They needed a little adversity. You lost 3 games, and people are forgetting about you. They're not going to forget about them if they can hold that ring, that championship at the end of the year. With that,
yeah, so, I agree with you. I mean, they're sitting at a 2 seed here. That might be the scariest 2 seed in the state that you want to see right now.
Quietest 2 seed.
Yeah, exactly. Knowing exactly what type of culture, coaching staff, and players that they have. 9 out of 11 on defense, returning from the number 1 team in the entire state of New Jersey, coming back and playing in this game right now.
Okay. Healthy. Yeah. Okay. We know about Wall. But I'm going to say this, the favorite, and talking to a lot of people out there.
Somerville?
No, Cedar Creek. But Somerville is an interesting team. Because they're 7-2. And I think that they lost on a forfeit. Let's look right here, Somerville. If you look at Somerville right now, Somerville lost with a forfeit. And then they lost to Northern Highlands, who's also undefeated.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. So there are 3 teams that I think that can win this. It's Cedar Creek, Somerville, and yours truly, Wall.
Yeah.
But if you look at Cedar Creek,
Go ahead.
yeah, I'm clicking it.
This is great for everybody to see, like we're doing right now.
Oh, you like this?
This is what coaches do, by the way.
Yeah. If you look at Cedar Creek, there's a lot of zeros here. And you know what this reminds me of? My science scores, the zeros, right? But it also is the
also tells you they play pretty good defense.
And it's also they play, yeah. So basically, I played pretty good defense with my
that
science
win
scores.
right there. What you're telling me right there with that win, that's significant to me.
Mm-hmm.
Holy Spirit 7-6. That's a big win right there.
Yeah, Holy Spirit's a little down this year, but yes, that's still.
They play great competition this year.
Yeah,
I mean they're.
Yep.
You know.
Yep. But they've taken care of business right here, Cedar Creek.
Yep. Yeah. That's
but Coach, point. Look at Somerville one more time. Just look at Somerville one more time. They lost to an undefeated team, 32-20, and they lost 1-0. I don't know what this forfeit was, but they've played.
But they put 47 points up on a non-public.
I know.
St. Joseph Metuchen team.
Jesus, I feel like so pressure. I feel like I got to name a team that's going to win it all now. I mean, yes, Somerville looks pretty good.
That's who jumped out at me.
Here's what I had though, Coach. People were saying I'm going to change that as favorite. I'm going to say Somerville is the favorite. I'm going to say Somerville is the favorite.
Yeah.
And I think Somerville versus Wall in the final.
Yeah. And correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't Wall play Rawway a week or two ago?
Hmm?
Didn't Wall play Rawway a week?
No, Donovan did.
Donovan and rolled Rawway, right? Rolled.
Yeah. Well, Coach, I think a lot of people.
We'll get to that later, but I'm just saying.
Rawway had a very big win last week to get him into the playoffs. They beat Hillside 40-21. And that's amazing. And Donovan kind of beat them pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a Somerville Wall final.
This is the first bracket. We absolutely agree. I think this should be Somerville Wall.
Yeah, I'm going to say this. I'm going with Wall to win it all. I'm going with Wall.
And I agree with you.
I'm going with Wall because they're getting healthier.
They've been there, done that.
Yeah.
This is nothing new to them. Yep.
Yeah, and Somerville's been there, done it too. And
they have. You're right. Yep.
I say Wall. Let's go Central Jersey 3. Okay. Now.
Another team that we've talked about, been here, done that.
There's a team that kind of snuck into the playoffs. Rumson, and I'm saying that jokingly a little bit, or a lot. They're 7-1, and I would have to say they have the toughest schedule played in this bracket, and I could probably say that on behalf of the whole state too. So Rumson's been battle tested, to say the least. Yep. Good luck, Go Crest. Good luck. Okay. Rumson 7-1 plays solid. Here's the thing to everybody in the bracket here. Rumson goes one side of the ball. Okay. Rumson practices one side, the other one goes the other side. Right. And then they come together and then they introduce themselves on a bus and then they play a game.
Start at the 50-yard line. The defense is on this side for practice. Offense on this side, and that's it. Yep.
Rumson is just a physical football team that wears people out. So if these teams in this bracket cannot withstand that, then you're going to have problems with it. Now, Manasquan and Holmdel are also in it. So we're going to get a short conference team that moves to the semifinals.
The semifinals, yeah. I like the fact that at least two of our short conference teams are on the bottom half here.
Yeah,
I mean, that's good.
I like it. So Manasquan 6-2 with Coach Price. They're a traditional football power, as you know, and they got a different style offense with Coach Sella, under his direction with Patton as the quarterback and outstanding Woodford and Howard and Kozlowski and Pendergrass. I mean, they just got household names in there. And
yep.
I'm very curious to see how this goes into the playoffs. It really is, because to me, insert Manasquan anywhere in the state playoffs, in the semis and the finals, and we'll talk about that in 1 second. But they're playing a Holmdel team that's tough as nails, tougher than you want them. Jaden Gallo,
Who's been to the
Sardo.
playoffs the last 3 years now? Exactly.
Yeah, you have Sardo, the linebacker. They're tough, but they're playing Manasquan, and we know Manasquan, and that's going to be a tough. I think it's going to be
And
closer.
here's the tough call, if I can, Coach. Holmdel played up 2 divisions this year with their schedule, where Manasquan was playing their division. Who knows that the schedule that Holmdel played this year is that going to carry them forward, where they're going to be so much calloused, and toughened up and scarred up to be able to play a hard playoff division right now.
I'll be at that game on a Saturday.
That's a great game to go see. Yeah, I agree.
Tough to beat Manasquan at their place. Again,
at Warrior Field. Yep.
Like we said before, their popcorn's delicious too.
On the grass.
Coach, you're talking about the favorite. Do we need to show our knowledge now?
I'm going to do a little Johnny Carson impersonation. You ready?
Yeah, what?
You ready? Watch.
Yeah.
Rob Davis, pick number 1 in the group. Go.
Rumson.
Fairhaven?
Yeah. Good guess. I have, and can I speak on behalf of you? I think you're going to pick them too.
Yes.
They're the favorite. They're the favorite. We all know, that doesn't mean you win it all.
Yeah.
Now, if we had to pick an upset, is there one potentially there? Could Triton beat Woodrow Wilson? I don't know enough to say that. Could Holmdel beat Manasquan? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could. Their style of play. Would it be tough? Yeah. But I don't think this is kind of an upset type of bracket. I do see the finals being Rumson, and I'm gonna try and I'm gonna say Manasquan.
I was gonna say same thing. I said it's gonna be Rumson Manasquan final. Yep.
Now, I'm not putting any team down by saying who I think is gonna win, but I think that Manasquan has enough firepower to beat a Woodrow Wilson team. I do. But I think this is the year of Rumson. They really won me over.
Yep.
From that first game, and they carried it all season. I think Rumson beats Manasquan for that Central Jersey 3 title. South Jersey 4. Boom. All right, now we're going South Jersey 4. Now we got some teams in there. We have Central. We have Long Branch. We have Freehold Boro. 3 teams.
South.
And who? And South. 4 teams. God, yep. we got some stock in here, man.
Yep.
Let's talk about South. They're 3-6. They lose to 1-8 Tom Driver East, but then they bounce back to win 3 games, and they won the last game against Red Bank to get in there. They got a little multiplier by beating. By playing. Who did they play, Coach?
Donovan Catholic.
No, they didn't play Donovan. They played Vianney.
TR South played, St. John's. You're right.
Yep, they got Vianney's multiplier, which helped them. As you all know, call a spade a spade. They helped them. So they got them to the 8 spot. Coach Sig's got those guys. When you thought they were down and out, they came out with wins. They beat Freehold Boro. Give them credit for that. Beating Freehold Boro was huge, Coach. And Freehold Boro is in this bracket as a 6 seed. So, they did win that. That was a big game, and they won on the road. So, nice job, Coach. The 5 seed Central, they're 6-3.
Yeah, it's weird over the last couple of weeks where we felt like 4 weeks ago about Central to where we're feeling now at a 5 seed,
Yeah, they're 6-3. They played some stiff competition at the end, and the record kind of got some losses on the end right there, but it's still a good team. And Gumpert having a great year, over 20-something touchdowns and 1,500 yards rushing, and their outstanding line's doing a great job. And I like them, and I got them. I got them as, and I'll talk about that in a second. But I think this is the year for them to kind of maybe get to that second round game. I really do. They won me over with their body of work, Coach. I really have. They're playing on the road though. That's going to be tough. Playing on the road. It is. Long Branch, the Danny George Tour. That would stink if it end. Oh, they still have to play Thanksgiving, don't they?
Uh,
Yeah. Who do they play? Red Bank?
Red Bank Regional. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Danny George has got his team 6-1. Just lost. Only loss was
First loss of the year.
to
Yeah.
Rumson. Christian Rodriguez is having a great year. They have so many outstanding weapons. They really do. Playing a Freehold Boro team. Let's talk. Let's look at that score of them when they played. So Long Branch played Freehold Boro. It was 29-14 at Freehold Boro. They won the football game. So that's nice. You got an edge. It's good that you won the game, but then it's bad because you have to beat them twice, Coach.
You have to beat them twice, and we've talked about this in previous podcasts. Freehold Borough is different offensively now, where they're starting to move some personnel around the different
Yeah.
spots. You know, Kamor Gill was at quarterback before.
Yeah.
Now he's playing slot. Yeah, it's just it just presents different.
I don't
things.
know,
It's tough.
Coach. You know your football better than I do, the football team better than anybody else. But I think Kamor Gill is when he has the ball in his hand, he's a threat. When he's a receiver, I know Rushton's the quarterback and all that. He's a better passer and all that. But I don't know. They know him better than we do. But
Yeah.
just get Gill the ball. I don't care how you do it.
Yep.
Right? Good. It's going to be a good game. I have a feeling it'll be a little closer than 29-14 just because they're two good football teams and they kind of know each other. So the second game with a lot of emotion, Coach.
Yep.
That's
Coming
really
off a loss
nice.
with Long Branch. Yep.
So we got 4 teams in there this year. Okay, favorite. I mean, I'm going to say this. It's Ocean City. Ocean City has got a dynamic football team, well coached and all that. I know Millville is very good and all that, but I'm just saying, maybe let me change that. Millville's the favorite, and I think that Ocean City's the dark horse. As a dark horse. I know the coaches there, Coach Smith, Coach Callahan, the offensive coordinator. They actually asked me to coach there this year. I no too far away, even though would love to go on the merry-go-round there and all that stuff there. But I just look at it as I see Millville versus Ocean City in the finals, and I'm just going to say this: I think Ocean City's going to win it. Ocean City's a good football team. Ocean City, that's my pick. What do you think, Coach? Do you know anything about them?
No, absolutely. I obviously I think Ocean City's a smart call right there. I would have liked to seen Long Branch in the top part of that bracket. And see,
Yeah.
Because I think it's going to be a Long Branch Ocean City semifinal.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be a tough game, a really tough game.
You're
I
right.
wouldn't count out Long Branch in that game, but I do agree with you about Ocean City. I don't think anybody in the top part of the bracket is going to be able to compare to Millville.
I think Central for an upset over Pensauken to get them to the second round.
Yep.
I mean, that would be a great achievement for Coach Pigeon and his staff. Get to that second round, and then playing a Millville team that I think that is very, very talented.
Again, we said this in the beginning of the year. If you would have told us in week 2 of doing our little fan-friendly show here that Central Regional might be playing in the state semifinals, I wouldn't have said that at that point in time. Would you?
Yeah.
Congratulations to them. That's awesome what they're building.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So I think it's an Ocean City win right there. Central Jersey 4. We're getting down to the end, Coach. We really are. Central Jersey 4. Oops. So we have Colts Neck from the shore, Lacey, who I know a little bit about. So we got 2 teams with that. Colts Neck is 4 seed at 5-3, right here. They had an injury to Tommy Fallon. They were able to overcome it. He's back. They have a humongous line, Coach. Chris Scully has bounced into the main guy at running back, and he's done a great job as a sophomore. They have a lot of veteran kids around on offense and defense. Not very dynamic, athletic, but very physical. That's going to be important. Timber Creek's going to be very athletic, very, very athletic. That'll be a tough game for them. The 4 versus the 5, it really will. but Colts Neck's a good football team. You right?
Yeah, I agree with you. And
Hopefully,
they're starting to get healthy, like you said. At the right time of the year. Again, they played in a division, and the competition they played throughout the year. They're going to be battle tested. It's just we'll talk about who our dark horses is.
mm-hmm.
And who our favorites are. That's the tough part of the bracket for Colts Neck right now.
Yep. And then Lacey. Lacey's not shy or strangers to the playoffs. They're 5-3. The 3 seed played tough schedule. They played Rumson. They played them tough in the first half. They played Middletown North. They played some playoff teams. They're battle tested, and traditionally they're always a team to be reckoned with Coach Versillo, who's won 4 state titles.
Yep.
Clearview is an athletic team. So here's my thing. The favorites. Let's look real quick because I just wanted to double check what Winslow. They beat Holy Spirit by 31. That's why I wanted to check. And you just said it yourself. Holy Spirit's a good football team.
Holy Spirit's pretty good. Yep.
They lost to Cedar Creek, who was undefeated, by 8, and then they lost to Woodbridge to 12. So they've played some good football throughout. Now they have Shawnee as the number 2. Who's the number 2 in this?
Shawnee
5-3.
That's my dark horse here.
It is.
Yep.
Coach.
Look at that St. Augustine Prep 21-7 game.
Wow.
They were in that game 14-7 to the last 2 or 3 minutes of that game, and St. Augustine is a tough non-public A team.
Mm-hmm. And then they lost to Millville. Right there. Okay. Well, you're a smart dude, man. With that, the favorite, I think we have to say the favorite is Winslow.
I agree with you. Yep.
But your dark horse is Shawnee, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to disagree with you on that one at all.
I think especially what Winslow's already done to Timber Creek during the regular season.
Yeah, I think Winslow versus Shawnee. And you know who I'm going to pick? Shawnee.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick Shawnee. Something about Shawnee with tradition, Coach.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I don't mess with tradition, Coach. I don't. Yeah. I mean, let's jump to North Jersey. North Jersey 4. I can't believe we're doing this. North Jersey 4. I went to the wrong. I always do that. I go to the wrong North Jersey. All right. So it's the same way I am when I'm driving on a parkway. I take the wrong turn. All right, good. All right, here we go. It's weird saying this, but we're in North.
I don't understand it.
North Jersey 4. We have 2 teams. We have Middletown North and Middletown South.
Take it from a guy that did law enforcement for 25 years. Irvington is exit 144 on the Parkway.
Okay.
Against Middletown South and Middletown North, that it's exit 114 on the and we're in North Jersey. I whatever. That's my soapbox. That's all I'm going to say. Whatever.
Yeah, I mean Middletown North comes in as a 6 seed with Steve Bush. I think I'm going to say, I say this all the time to everybody. I think he's the best offensive play caller in the short conference. I think he's so creative. He has a certain thing he puts into his schemes each week. He's very creative with his schemes. He really is running the screens, running false pulling on run plays. He gets it done. He really does get it done. People think that he runs a finesse offense, but if you look at his trenches, they're playing physical, Coach, up top.
Yeah. Yep.
So Middletown North with Giannone thrown for 1,700 yards. They can throw the ball. I hope it's a nice dry surface to give Middletown North a really good fighting chance. Because if they could do that stuff, it could be interesting. It really could be interesting playing Sayreville. And then Middletown South is 6-1. Again, you think of Middletown South, you think physical football on defense, you wouldn't be disappointed. They're the same way this year. Offensively, they haven't scored a lot of points, but they played some tough teams. Their only loss was to Rumson, 12-7. Middletown South is prepared defensively to do real well in this bracket right here. And Coach, when you look at, I want to look at this real quick. Irvington, I'm sure we don't know too much about the North Jersey teams.
No, I know Irvington very well.
Do you really?
Of course. One of my former players is playing up there, and I know Smoke, who's the head coach, very well up there. I've seen them.
Tell me.
We've also scrimmaged them year after year.
Tell me something about them.
They're going to spread you out. They have athletes galore of what they're going to play out there. But I would not be surprised if Linden does not upset Irvington in this first round.
Whoa. Really?
Yep.
Why? Yep. With that being said, I'm going to look at Linden. That's a strong statement. You're saying the number 8 seed, who's 3-5, can beat them.
I would not overlook Linden.
You see those 5 L's, Coach?
Yeah.
Okay. You think so? Do you know something I don't know?
Bring up Irvington really quick.
Okay.
Okay. See the Hudson Catholic game, 32-26?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that game should not have been 32-26.
Okay. They're kind of a lower level non-public.
Correct. Irvington should have did a lot better in that game personally. Okay. I mean, from what I've seen on film.
Can I look at one other? I want to look at Sayreville before I make a prediction.
Go ahead.
Because, boy, I just want it to work. I just want it to work. But I'm afraid. Yeah. I hate when they put 1-0. What was it? A walk-off home run?
Yeah. Piscataway's down. St. Joe. Yeah.
Well, here, Coach, who do you think is the?
I think Middletown South wins the state championship here in this division.
You think so?
I mean, in this bracket, yeah, absolutely. I think Middletown South is a class here. I would not be surprised that, like I said, Linden upsets Irvington in the first round. I like Randolph.
So you're saying Sayreville's the dark horse then?
Oh, I think Sayreville's a definitely dark horse in this.
Because if you're saying Linden beats Irvington, then that wipes out Irvington being the dark horse.
No, Irvington's not. I don't think Irvington's a dark horse at all.
How about Colonia and Randolph?
No, I think Randolph is a team that could surprise teams as well. I like Randolph.
So you think Middletown South versus who in the finals?
Randolph.
And then the winner, Middletown South.
Yep.
I'm gonna back you up because I trust you.
Okay.
With my money. Middletown South.
You're the one that's leading in the picks, my friend.
I know. We'll see when the picks come out the next day or two. But Coach Antonucci, does he have enough fingers to get one more ring on? That's the thing. Good guy. I'd like to see him get that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. South Jersey 5. Here we go. We have Tom Driven North. We have Manalapan, who we just had Dominic Lapori on our show.
Correct.
2 seed. So looking at Dominic Lapori of Manalapan, the number 2 seed, he's got a veteran team built for the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Let's call a spade. They ain't going anywhere without their line. So their line lets them play. Lets all the guys play. They beat you up front. They have enough of guys back. I think they had 4 or 5 returners back. And they have skill kids, Heckle and Marquez and all their receivers. And, their receivers are DBs and their special teams is very good. Boy, there's a lot of things to be proud of, Coach, with Manalapan.
I agree with you. Yep.
But the one thing that people don't realize is that there's excitement, there's belief, there's pride. Manalapan's got all those things. Everything, the checkbox. Then you could say, well, did they play a tough schedule? Well, let's just check that off right there. We don't. One of their losses to RBC, so we don't need to talk about that. They're ready to go. Now, Toms River North, they lost to Donovan Catholic, but then they got that win back with a forfeit. And they've had a couple wins. They beat their sister schools in East and South, and they beat Southern. They played Colts Neck real tough, but lost. They're a young team.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I had to pick an upset. I think that East Brunswick over North is a good upset because North is high up because of their forfeit win, and they got that multiplier because of it. So they're really not a 5-3 team. They're kind of like a 4-4, if that makes sense. But they have a lot of great athletes. I think they're a year away, Coach. I think them getting where they are was a credit to Coach Oz. But
Agreed.
I think they're 1 year away, and I'm not saying that disrespectful. I think that they had a good year, and next year's their year. But with that being done and said, who is the favorite, Coach?
I truly think it's going to come down to a 1 versus 2 in championship. If I remember, watching tape, obviously, for scouting for this year, I think if you bring up Washington, I think Washington played St. Joe's at Hamilton this year, but I think they played them pretty tough, like by 10. I think they only lost to them by 10, if I remember.
Hamilton?
Yeah.
They lost by 10.
Yeah, so, I mean, Washington's battled. I mean, they beat Cherokee. They've also played Eastern. I mean, they play pretty. I think this is going to come down to Manalapan and Washington in the finals.
That's what I have. And, being a short conference guy and kind of making this pick with my heart or head, I'm screw it. I'm going Manalapan.
Yeah.
I think Manalapan, this is the year.
They got a really good shot here.
They do have a shot, and it could go the other way and all that. But I think that East Brunswick could upset, and looking over here at East Brunswick, they could upset Toms River North. They could.
Yeah.
They've been very consistent, as you see all this right here. And if you look at Toms River North, who I really do like North. But, in the playoffs, everybody's good. They beat a Southern team 17-0. That was a good win. They beat a Vienna team. That was a good win.
That's a signature win. Yep.
They lost to Rumson. They lost to Wall kind of convincingly in those two. Donovan Catholic was also a forfeit. So they really had like 4 losses there. But they really bounced back, and a credit to Coach Oz. But I just think that a 6, if there's a 6-3 upset, that could be one right there. But they're a good football program, and they're going to be back next year. I really do believe that. Good. Let's go now to Central Jersey 5. Oops. We are almost done. Okay. Central Jersey 5. What do we got?
So you got Hillsboro at the 1, right?
Well, we got Southern.
Southern's the 4 seed.
Southern is the 4 seed. And that's the only reason why we're covering this bracket is because Chuck Donahue's Rams are 4. Yep. And they're staring at a 4-5 Williamstown team. You always get nervous with that 4-5. And when you talk about upsets and, when we say upsets, we say the higher seed losing to the lower seed. Coach Donahue's very consistent with his program, and this year was no different. Jaden Brown, Nate Committee. I like the quarterback, Shoebriger. Their offensive line had 4 guys returning back. I like Jaden Anthony, the kicker, the wide receiver. He's brought a lot of good success to him with his leg. He's also an outstanding receiver. Really is athletic kid. Really is. I like him.
The problem is this Williamstown team has played a lot of good competition.
No, let's look at this.
You talked about that Ocean City team that you're high on.
I'm an alumni of Southern too, so I got to be very careful with how I pick it.
I'm just giving you an unbiased look here, but
I think it's going to get to the point where I can't pick any teams because I've been everywhere.
Williamstown's played Ocean City, played them tough. They played St. Augustine Prep. I mean, it's another tough team that they played. I mean, I don't know.
Well, I'm going to say this. Yeah, they did, but I'm going to say this. All right. When we talk about who's the favorite, I think it's got to be Hillsborough.
Yeah, undefeated.
Let's talk the upset first. My upset for me, okay, I like well, there's two games. I'm not going to say Southern. I'm an alumni there, and I'm not saying Southern's losing to Williamstown.
I
I'm
got you.
not. That's what I'm going to say. That's my reason.
I
But
do like Eastern over North
I
Brunswick.
do. I do like that. I do for some reason. And that first year coach is doing a good job.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yep.
I do like that. But the other one that intrigues me is Egg Harbor.
Against Cherokee?
Yes. And because now Cherokee played didn't Cherokee play or the scrimmaged wall?
The Cherokee scrimmage wall in the beginning of the year.
Yeah. So looking at Cherokee, they beat Shawnee 56-21.
Yeah.
All right, I'm not going to do nothing stupid. I'm going to say that Eastern is going to be. Let's see New Brunswick. Come on,
North Brunswick.
North
Yep.
Brunswick. Okay, when I see 41-0, 42-0, that's when you lose that bad twice, 2 out of the last
Yeah.
3 games.
Yeah.
Maybe a carryover. I'm going the upset special with Eastern.
I agree with you.
I don't think Eastern's going any farther than that.
I agree with you. Yep.
Right, Hillsborough looks like the cream of the top up top. I think Southern Regional plays them, and
In the semis. Yep.
you know, and sometimes you meet your match with that. But Cherokee versus Hillsborough, and I think Hillsborough wins it. What do you think?
I think you're dead on with that. I think Hillsborough's the pride there.
Now let's go to the parochials. Non-public B. I don't agree with them reseeding. And I'm going to talk about the other one in a second who got screwed over. They really did. I think they did. Okay.
I agree with you.
Okay.
I'm not doubting that.
Yeah, and that's interesting because we're gonna go to a little gridiron and talk about that. But here we go. DePaul, my buddy was the head coach there, John McKenna. He's gone.
He's great man.
He's the
great man.
I guess you don't know him if you said he's a great man. I'm only kidding.
No, Coach McKenna's a good man.
I'm only kidding. So he's now the AD. They're the number 1 seed, and they run a good program there. Campanelli is the
Campanelli's there.
He's the head coach. Good dude.
Took over from offense coordinator. Yep.
Yeah, he was the OC. Yep, right.
Yep.
He's still calling the offense, isn't he?
Yep.
Yep. So I got to say DePaul is the team to beat. Before we talk about the team, actually, let's talk about our team. Red Bank Catholic is the team in the Shore Conference. They were undefeated till last week. They were number 1 in the Shore for 2 weeks, and then they lose, and then you forget what you look like. They have to understand they got to bounce back. Yes, you lost to Donovan Catholic. That doesn't mean jack anything now. They got to regroup and go after it. And if they really want to win a state title, which I think they have a chance, Coach, I really do. I mean, after last week, though, they gotta, shake it up inside their locker room and go after it because they're a good football team, Red Bank Catholic, and they need to have that mindset that they're going to win a state title and get back that mojo after that loss from Donovan Catholic. So it's only that's we're going to see how they deal with adversity, Coach. Red Bank Catholic. Would you agree?
Agreed. I think RBC gets through the first round with no problems. I think that they're talented enough and coached up enough. I think they're going to run into a really tough St. Joseph's team. The intriguing thing here, and obviously I've lived in this for the last how many years, is they've taken the non-public group 2 and non-public group 3 and put it together here. So you're taking the grades of the Holy Spirits and St. Joseph's that were group 2, match them in with the group 3s here.
Okay. One other question. Who's going? Hudson Catholic, who you weren't too high on, or Holy Spirit, could that be an upset?
That's actually a really good game. I mean, I have 5 former players playing on the Hudson Catholic team.
Right.
That transferred up there against a team that's coming all the way down from Abassecan to play all the way up, against a northern
That's
team
a
here.
big trip.
Yeah, you're talking all the way go up to Hudson Catholic from Abasecon.
Coach, I get car sick just driving to Wawa,
Yeah.
and then this guy's going 100 miles. Come
Yeah,
on.
but that's why I always said with the non-publics, I know how you feel, but when you play for a non-public state champion, you're literally saying the entire state, where we play sectional championships throughout the public school, where the non-publics play literally from tip to tip. That's what goes on. But the Hudson Catholic Holy Spirit game is a really good thing. But getting into the favorites, which you're going to touch on, and I've seen them on film, coached against them in the past. DePaul is the class of this bracket right here. What they were able to do against the powerhouses up north with the Boscos, the Bergen Catholic, St. Joseph Monfeld this year, DePaul is really, really, really good. And the difference with Coach Campanelli this year, they've committed so much to the run, what they're doing, where in the past it was, they've always had that quarterback that's going to spread you out, really kill you with
that lefty's still there, right?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Butler, yep. So
ouch.
But they're really good. They're really good.
Yeah. Wow, that's a tough schedule.
Yeah, look at that. You're talking St. Joe's Montville, St. Peter's Prep. Look what they did to Irvington. We just talked about Irvington and they shut them out with those athletes. Seton Hall Prep, Don Bosco, they lose by 3.
All right, I get it. They're good.
Yeah. But that being said, RBC, listen, I could absolutely see a DePaul RBC final here.
Wait. You didn't tell me. What's your upset? Is there an upset or no?
I wouldn't sleep on Coach Sacco with St. Joseph of Hamilton making it to the finals here.
Really? Okay. Yeah. Okay, so you're saying is there a first round upset though? Can Holy Spirit beat Hudson? I don't think so. I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
So there's really no upset.
Not in the first round.
And the way they did it, Coach, was so there weren't upsets because they seeded.
Yep.
So somebody knows something in there. All right, so now you got DePaul, Hudson Catholic playing. You like DePaul, right?
Yeah.
So you're saying the next game, who wins?
St. Joseph's for RBC is that's a tough one.
So you think St. Joseph's could beat St. Thomas?
Oh yeah, I absolutely think St. Joseph could beat St. Thomas.
So St. Joe's Hamilton versus RBC
in the semis. Yep.
Let me just look at this one. I'm gonna say I Coach. I don't know. I think that RBC is going to get to the finals.
Okay.
It's just me.
Listen, I'm not counting that RBC either. I'm just saying that St. Joe's RBC game is going to be a very good football game.
But I think that DePaul is the cream of the crop.
Yep.
I think DePaul wins it all.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Good. Last one, Coach. Non-public A. Now, I'm going to say one thing.
Go ahead.
Let me say it. Let me be the bad guy. Let all those guys.
I'm going to back you up on it.
They screwed over Donovan.
Yep.
They screwed over Donovan Catholic. Look how many teams are in it. They screwed over Donovan Catholic. Yep. Let me go over the PowerPoint thing. So.
First of all, Rob, explain to me why they're in this bracket.
I don't know.
Because I don't know that much. Bracket that I played them in the last couple of years. I don't understand how they made that jump.
I don't know that much, Coach. After 20 minutes, I'm not speaking jibber jab. All right, here we go.
I know.
Donovan Catholic, I think, with PowerPoints for the 7th. I like them matched up with St. Augustine. I like them playing Camden Catholic, and then the second round playing St. Augustine. But apparently the committee moved the things around. I just think that they deserve to be there. So instead, they flipped Del Barton over. Why would you flip Del Barton over Donovan Catholic? I don't understand it. Because if you look at Del Barton's games, they lost to them. They lost. Everything. Blah, blah, blah.
Again, I've been a part of this, and I have no problem saying it publicly. You get these committees with these people representing these teams up there, and they're North Jersey heavy. I don't care what anybody says. I'll say it every time.
Yeah. They messed up because Donovan Catholic should have been just keep them at 7. And the thing is, the PowerPoints are the PowerPoints. Why would you change it?
Yeah.
Like in the state, we all follow the PowerPoints except the parochial. Why? Mm-hmm. Tell me why Del Barton moves over Donovan Catholic.
No idea.
Tell me why Del Barton moves over Donovan Catholic. They're not higher than him in the PowerPoint. Is there something we don't know that Del Barton should be moved up over there? So that you have people on the committee who are stubborn and think that you're better than the people down south, and that's not right. It's not right. They should have put somebody else in the short conference in that committee. They really should have. So let's talk about this bracket. Now it's it's pretty long. So we got Donovan Catholic and St. John Vianney. Let's talk Vianney first. Vianney, they're 3-6. I really thought they would have a better record. They lost a lot of close games, Coach. I know they have some good talent on there. They really do. I think they're lacking confidence or something because they lost a lot of close games.
Yeah.
A lot of close games. The ball didn't roll their way, whatever it is. Some guys didn't have as great a year as I thought they would after having a decent year last year. I don't know what it is, but it's confidence. It's got to be confidence. Yeah. Just whatever it is, it's lacking. They got a tough game against Seton Hall Prep. Let's call it spade a spade.
They got to travel up to South Orange and play Seton Hall Prep, who's played
and
had some major signature wins this year.
Let's call a spade a spade. St. John Vianney's got their hands full with Seton Hall Prep. And Donovan Catholic, they're playing now the number
9 seed Notre Dame.
9 seed Notre Dame. Instead, I thought they should have played Camden Catholic.
Yep.
I'm going to make a phone call tonight or tomorrow. I know somebody up in North Jersey. I'm probably going to not be allowed to go past the Raritan Bridge after the one I'm going to talk about because it's not right. Why did Donovan Catholic get moved down from where their PowerPoints were their 7? So they moved to 8, and that's a big jump because I really believe if they were 7 that they would beat Camden Catholic, and I really thought they had a legitimate chance, and I'm not putting them down, but I thought they had a shot to beat in St. Augustine. Yeah. I thought they had a shot to the finals if they were to 7. So now, what does Donovan Catholic have to do? They have to play Notre Dame, who I think they're going to beat Notre Dame. Wait, Donovan Catholic's 9?
Donovan Catholic's 8. They're home.
Donovan Catholic's 8.
Yep.
Oh, I bought it wrong. Why? I was about to throw some language on here. All right, good. Yep. All right, whatever. It's at Donovan Catholic, and then who do they got to play? They got to play Bergen Catholic. I mean, I wish they played Bergen Catholic not that early into the playoffs.
Yeah.
So basically, I got Donovan Catholic going to the final 8.
Yeah.
Not any higher than that. I mean, I don't think they're beating Bergen Catholic. Let's look at Bergen Catholic. Could I be saying it wrong? I'll tell you right now, Donovan Catholic's going to see how far they've come along playing at Bergen Catholic, though.
I mean, that is. I was just going to say that is a credit to Coach Curcione to be able to say, listen, where we're at. You're playing. I'd never made it that high where you're playing those top bigs. We might have scrimmaged them, but now you're playing them in the state playoffs. You're talking the BCs, the Boscos, the St. Joe's Monmouth. You're playing at that level. That's big time football.
I know, but I wish they got to play him a little farther ahead into.
I agree with you.
That really bothered me. That really bothered me that they moved them from the 7 spot because that's where they were with them. They were the 7 spot with all the forfeits.
Right.
Let's look at that again. There's 7 here with the forfeits.
Right. They could be 8-1.
If they were, they'd probably be the 5. Yep. But with their forfeits, Coach, Explain to me. Can you see the committee going, well, you had these forfeits? Well, yes, they've been suffered with the PowerPoints. There's 7. So they got killed with the PowerPoint, and then they got killed with the people in the committee going, we're going to bump you down even more. That's bullcrap.
And can I say this now?
Yeah.
This exactly the way you and I are talking right now. That's why the short conference backed off from having the short conference championship pods, because they did not want to have to deal with what you're talking about right now.
What, the committee?
Yeah, the committee.
Committees really ruin things, don't they?
But I don't want to get aggravated. I've seen this happen. This is what I'm saying. It's so North Jersey heavy that they don't. It's mind blowing.
All right, fine. The favorite is Bergen Catholic.
Yeah.
Right. Your dark horse. Who's your dark horse for first round?
Dark horse. Dark horse. Dark horse. Bosco.
No, for first round.
Oh, first round? First round only? I'm sorry.
They're going to beat the crap out of Paul.
I thought you meant to go to the championship. I'm sorry.
No.
First round?
Coach, the way he did it.
I wouldn't sleep on Camden Catholic over Del Barton.
All right. I mean, they have a chance, right?
Yeah. I mean, Donovan's going to roll Notre Dame. No disrespect to Notre Dame, but St. Joe's at Hamilton, I want to say, if I remember correctly, St. Joe's at Hamilton beat Notre Dame by like 40 points.
So, yeah, I hear.
I mean, I don't know if I remember it right, but.
Well, that's everything, man. We're going to do our picks, and we'll give it out by Thursday. That was our edition of the state playoffs. It's really tough to do, to know all the teams out there, so we kind of had to make our phone calls and kind of do our research on the run. We do know the short conference, but, there's a lot of good football out there in the state. Proud that our short conference teams are out there, and they're going to do us good.
Yep.
They're going to do us good. So, that's that. All right. Coach.
That's the positive, like you just said, Coach. I mean, we just spent how much time talking about state playoffs? Why? Because we have so many short conference teams representing us in the state playoffs, which is a great thing.
Coach, I'll end it right here. It's been a long day. Rob Davis, Coach Houdley, wishing everybody the best of luck in the state playoffs. See you later.